This is our second week. Hopefully you are enjoying the content. It's Monday. So we have the box office results, reviews of what occurred in the world of wrestling, news and of course the dumb ass of the day. And it's a doozy today. 5 4 3 2 1.
Based on reports from April 25-26, 2026, the Michael Jackson biopic, Michael, is dominating the box office in its opening weekend, projected to earn between $90 million and $100 million in North America. Here are the estimated box office results for the weekend of April 26, 2026. Top box office performers, April 24-26, 2026. Michael, Lionsgate, estimated $39.5 million, $39.9 million on Friday, leading to a projected $95 million plus opening weekend, marking it as one of the highest debuts of 2026. Nostalgia and Music won out. The positive showing will garner the Part 2 to be released. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, Universal, dropping to second place in its fourth weekend, it added to its massive $360 million plus total gross. Project Hail Mary, Amazon MGM, holding strong in the top 3, continuing its successful run from late March. Lee Cronen's The Mummy, Warner Bros., holding a top 5 spot in its second weekend. The drama, A24, remaining in the top 5 during its April release window. Michael, record opening, the biopic is set to break records for a musical biopic, potentially challenging Straight Outta Compton's historical standing. Worldwide performance, Michael is also performing strongly internationally, with a worldwide opening weekend pace over $200 million. Now to the wrestling report.
Monday, April 27, 2026. We are reviewing what went for Friday's SmackDown and AAA. The biggest story is the releases, so let's go over what went on. SmackDown. We got a new Women's US Champion. We had a solid match between Julia and Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany now has had the NXT World, WWE World and US title. Now we'll see how they utilize Julia. Next we had an uneventful tag title match between Up Damian Priest and R-Truth vs MTF. Tag titles retained and zero storytelling. Trick Williams had a celebration but the Gingerbread Man attacked with no surprises at being Sami Zayn, but what was the surprise was the reaction. Booz told the bigger tale where Trick is beloved and Sami is facing a backlash. We got a non-title match with Rhea vs Jacy Jayne. Oh yes, debuting Fatal Influence stole the show. Rhea won by DQ where Fatal Influence just got nuclear heat, bravo. Finally we had Jacob Fatu vs Solo. A solid match and furthering the storytelling with the Bloodline. We also had a fun AAA matches. Big story is on May 23 there will be a new general manager for AAA. The matches were all fun. We started the night off with Rey Fenix and La Parka defeating the Money Machine. Next we had Champion vs Champion match. Latin American Champion Drive. Wagner defeated Cruiserweight Champion Laredo Kid. Fun match but telling the story where Laredo entering the dark side. In the main event, El Grande Americano and Texicano defeating Mechawolf and El Mezana. Fun match and full of storytelling. After celebration, Og Grande Americano attacking Texicano. Bravo Undertaker. The big story is WWE or bigger likelihood TKO. 2026 releases. Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Kairi Sane, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Santos Escobar, Motor City Machine Guns Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, Dexter Loomis, Apollo Crews, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Andre Chase, Zoe Stark, Alba Fire, Tyra May Steele, Cyrena Linton, Tyson, Tyrek, Chris Island, Malik Blade, Trill London, Luca Crucifino. The big releases were the Wyatt Six, Aleister Black and Zelina and Kairi Sane. Crazy worse off is they reported how much TKO officials got paid. Yes, it's understandable the business aspects but sadly these are jobs. Good luck. Raw will be fun. Joe Hendry puts out a concert and officially on the Raw roster. Becky Lynch will be on the show and hopefully they revive the IC title picture. Roman Reigns will be on the show and answer the Jacob Fatu request. Seth Rollins is on the show and Bron Breakker is looking to add to the feud. Men's IC title match where Penta defends against Rusev. We get a women's tag match where Bayley and Lyra go against Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Now to the news.
Welcome to the wrestling news. The big story is the aftershock of Black Friday and the release of all the WWE talent. I'm not going to dwell on that because the wrestling report went into detail. All I wanted to add to it is reports of how Triple H and Nick Khan were the primary decision makers. SmackDown got the most cuts, but it revealed that it will return to 2 hours, so that was one of the factors. Again, this will create other problems because 2 hours is not enough to display all of the talent. In the lighter side of wrestling, comedian Kevin Nealon challenges Danny DeVito to an IU bout with support of Tony Khan. This is hilarious in several facets. A joke to the past WrestleMania celebrities who took the majority of the storylines, so this is a playful jab. Over the weekend, at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, it was reported Shane and his mother Linda McMahon were at the event and thankfully were not harmed. It seems WrestleMania has gotten a lot of people chiming in. Former failed Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang has voiced his displeasure in TKO and made a comment that TKO has screwed WWE. Regardless your political thought, this is a very true statement that hopefully is reaching the ears of TKO. Well, cutting things short for the rest of the show. Now to the news. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Today's news will be more of an editorial due to the circumstances of April 25, 2026. At the White House Correspondents' Dinner, another crazy incident where shots were heard and a shooter caught. 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen was caught, and what follows is a domino effect of warning factors, but nothing was done until too late. Manifesto and continued growing problem of individuals who are choosing violence over their own coexist and love Trump's hate approach. We have another individual who took matters in his hands, which is more disturbing when you find out he's a teacher, a person responsible molding the future, which is a growing problem. We have a pandemic in which is going to create a Pandora's box of problems. Regardless if you like or dislike President Trump, this is a concerning factor where from June 2016 a 20-year British national was caught in Las Vegas. September 2017, shots at presidential motorcade. 2024 campaign where at Butler, Pennsylvania Thomas Matthew Cooks and West Palm Beach Golf Club Ryan Wesley Ralph. July 2024 a Pakistani national plotted murder for hire plot. And now recent attempt. We have a problem, and what is worst is the reaction. Several teachers were mad that the attempt failed. American international personality Hassan Piker took to his channels to complain at the failed attempt while hating America. So, due to lack of accountability, we will see more of this craziness. When will it stop? Until everyone is actually held accountable, we will see the insanity ensue. Freedom of speech is essential, but there is a problem when many are using media to express this new form of hate, which should be made as a form of domestic terrorism. We are talking about taking the life of a standing president. That alone needs to open a discussion. Accountability is important and needs to have a snowball effect where platforms that continue to allow this form of hate speech to be shut down and any money these individuals are taking need to be froze. This is only the opinion of this station, but the reality is, more individuals are going to surpass their coexist edict and will choose violence. What is worse, the endgame. When will it end? So until accountability is actually taken, the world will be in a constant state of disarray. When owners of a beer company in Wisconsin, Minocqua Brewing Company owner Kirk Banstad mocks the failure, it is time to make these idiots famous or infamous by freezing their assets, arresting and tried for treason. When that effort is made, I'm sure many of these idiots will be less likely to pull off idiotic attempts. Sorry, the news didn't actually report the news, but hopefully the insanity ends and accountability sustained.
The best part of the show. Dumbass of the day. White liberal women. I know it's specific, but idealized this group has become a growing problem. Historically, white liberals have been a problem. Even Malcolm X stated the worst type of human is a white liberal, and that cannot be more true in the current state of the world. The fact of gender, which most liberals don't even can tell the difference, but white liberal women have become the calling card for mental illness. They often have a calling card too. Bright color hair, purple and blue seems to be the color of choice. Noise piercing. Never judge a book by a cover, but this seems a common thread. Screaming when questioning ideas. Instead of intellectual discussion, they resort to screaming. Critiques of white liberal women often focus on the perception that they use their social and racial privilege to push political ideals without fully experiencing or being held accountable for the consequences of those ideals. These criticisms come from across the political spectrum, though they highlight different issues. Critiques of zero accountability. The perception of a lack of accountability often stems from the dual identity white liberal women hold as both an oppressed group based on gender and a privileged group based on race. From the political right, critics often use terms like AWFULs, affluent white female urban liberals, to describe a stereotype of women who are seen as virtue signaling or shrill, while pushing policies that critics believe harm traditional family values or economic stability. There is also a perception that educational and social media environments push leftist ideologies on young women, discouraging traditional roles like motherhood. Of course, when stereotypes come to fruition, then you cannot remain quiet. The fact they attack anything traditional is problematic. From the political left and minority groups, activists of color often critique white liberal women for performative allyship, supporting social justice causes in public like attending marches but failing to challenge systemic racism that benefits them or centering their own comfort in activist spaces. This is sometimes referred to as liberal white supremacy, where white women maintain systemic power while appearing benevolent. Left have become a growing problem, but this facet has become a growing number. The Karen and Amy Cooper phenomena, high-profile incidents, such as that of Amy Cooper, are often cited by sociologists as examples of liberal individuals who view themselves as allies, yet use their privilege in ways that can be dangerously entitled or harmful to marginalized people. Helping and hindering gets lost. It's weird the fight that they are siding with. The biggest story, most are uninformed but spoiled individuals are voicing their side of the story with zero accountability. Perceptions of mental health and disturbance. Some discussions around this demographic being disturbed point to data regarding mental health and political outlook. Diagnosis rates. Some studies and surveys suggest that young white liberal women report higher rates of mental health diagnoses, such as depression and anxiety, compared to their conservative or moderate counterparts. Psychological outlook. Analysts suggest this may be linked to an unrelenting focus on oppression and verbal violence, which can lead to feelings of helplessness or pessimism about the state of the world. Social isolation. In some circles, there is a noted trend of young liberal women feeling deep despair due to their dissatisfaction with how women are treated in society, which can manifest as an aggressive or uncompromising push for radical change. The fact many of these individuals are openly seeking mental health care is a good sign, but has it helped? It seems Big Pharma are collecting money with zero improvement. So this isn't only dumbass of the day but a big tutorial to protect yourself against these deranged individuals who have become the poster child for problematic people. Be aware, if you encounter one of these beasts in the wild, be safe.